Well, today is January 1st, 2015, and I've started and finished this today. Took about 5 hours after I made took the pattern apart. Now, so what we have is the New Year's project. I picked up this sweater at Goodwill. It's $5.99, but because it was orange tag, I got it for half price. And it's going to be my pattern for making blanket coats. What I bought was an extra large. I wear a large, so because I'm going to be cutting this up, I need the extra size to fit down to a large. So if you're a medium, you would use a large for a pattern. If you're small, you would use a medium for a pattern. I think that's self-explanatory, but what I plan on doing here now is go ahead and, while it's still together, put the marks in that I need for fitting it back together after it's been cut, and I've done that on both sides. So you can see where the X's are is where I'll be putting marks on the original sweater. It does help to put this on paper before you do it. So as you can see, I've got it marked everywhere, including putting the right and the left sleeve so they don't get backwards somewhere. I have the marks everywhere. I'll go ahead and turn this around to the back and do it on the back as well. So just like on the front, I marked the sleeves what they are, put X's on. The hood, same thing. So the next thing to do is go ahead and cut this raglan sweater into a pattern. So as you see, everything's been cut off. I did not cut off the pocket. I don't think I'm going to worry about that too much. I'm going to make little changes there anyway. But I did snip and cut each one separately. I didn't try cutting both at the same time just because you're going to make a mistake. And the hood is cut apart up on the top there. And then I did have to make marks on the side. I forgot that I had made them on the pattern. That way you will, because this was a tube cut or tube knit, there was really no seam. So that's one thing to consider when you're making your pattern. Make it a little bit wider on the sides. Well, as you can see, I have everything laid out here. I have pinned open, stretched this and pinned open where the elastic's trying to pull. And I do have pull. And I do have 13" from here to the bottom, so it'll be 13 inches longer from this point, just for the outdoor comfort. I did pin all the corners so that everything holds straight. I did pin the elastic on the sleeves before I cut those out. I do have my little marker points where I did cut. You see the little V, making those when you roll it over, that way the points will be easier to line up. Just a couple little tricks. So I do have everything cut out, and because I am going to need a inner part here, I'll cut it out of the piece left over hanging off the edge of the table. So what you see here is a little arrow pointing above where the marks were. I've done that around everything, put a little arrow for line up references on all the pieces where I did all the X's. So that's working well. That's right, got the treble sewing machine out for this project. Getting the bobbin ready. So in a very short time I was able to sew the hood together, even put the sticker on the inside of the hood. And now I have the shoulders pinned up to be able to sew the two shoulders. And that'll be next. Because this is a shoulder, I always sew back on all the supporting type seams. Now here we are, just sewed on the hood. And the way to do that is tuck it inside the hole. Find all your points that you cut from the pattern, get them lined up, get them pinned together, and then sew it carefully around the edge. I did it at least 2 times. I did it 3 times across the back just because I start from one side, start from the other side all the way, and then I went around the whole thing one more time. That makes 3 in the back and 2 on the sides. So like I say, this is inside out. And you can see everything's coming together. So we're going to get ready here to sew the sleeve up. If I hadn't said this, this is my new home treadle sewing machine I'm using. This is much faster than whip stitching it. I'll probably go back and make the inner seams all nice and pretty and whip stitch them anyway, but I can do that out on the trail. It's not a race, just how nice you can make it. So I've got it all sewn together. I've pulled out the sleeves. You have to have the sleeves tucked in. I did put point to point and pinned everything. Sewed it all around as I worked it. So that's a secret. You tuck everything inside when you're sewing it. Like I say, you see all the points are point to point, and I did that on the pattern. The one thing I do have yet to do is make the pocket for the inside where the hand would go in. And I did sew this on as an extra piece on the front, so I actually have a area that big to be able to put stuff in. Then I have 3 pockets here just to help keep stuff separated from each other. I do have it where I'm going to have to whip stitch down both sides and across the bottom of both, and that's so you can get to your pockets or your knife or whatever. But now we'll turn it inside out and see what it looks like. So I'll just grab the hood, pull it right way around, and I have to pull the sleeves out. There we go. That's the right way around. That is the front. There's the hood. I have a V I'm going to cut in here and sew something in yet. I'm going to make little cuts here, put those rivets in to hold the string for the hoodie. But it is long. This was, like I say, made from an extra large, and I'm a large. So I'll see if I can get this on. I put one arm in. I'll reach for the other arm and pull it over my head. Not too bad, huh? I think that'll work. So there you go. I've got whip stitching to do yet on the edges. I'm going to cut a V here and have a piece cut in here with where I can tie that together to pull things up tight, and then with the two strings here should be able to tie everything up well. So it has worked out well. I'll get that V cut in and get the whip stitching done. Should be done by the weekend.